don't have the actual version for this, it might not run, so you have to download the other unit.
Yeah. You end up with 300 different versions.
Exactly, yeah. And then are the assets the same for all of them? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, at least there is that. Do you have any assets from the store actually?
No.
Or do you create everything yourself?
I mean, for Blender, it's all.
Не знам, што
Yeah.
So free.
Yeah, it was because it's MVP, like we didn't invest in like designer or artists, so it's just like mostly like functionality wise, the rest is just fun. Like so to get the idea across the board, it was cheap.
I think my biggest problem
you
with
know,
like actual
Yeah, what about it?
I couldn't I made a game where I have to allergic to cats.
You were allergic to that. Oh, don't get too close to me then, because I have two. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. So
Yeah,
I
I
love
have to
cats.
call you,
So,
but I couldn't
yeah,
get
don't
through
get
to
I'm
you.
allergic to it.
Is it okay if I
I would love
ask
cats.
you for advice on
So I made a game where cats
pay?
jump around.
Yeah, so we have
And you have to shoot them with bullets.
You
You know, because you know, and then they have to like keep following you, and you have to. It's like a shooter game, but you have to run around and shoot them. So it's a top-down
yeah.
game.
So the question is, okay, I have to pay payroll.
There was a problem with
later
the
today.
cats already went because I imported the assets from outside from the store.
Just charge
And
us.
they just jump without the owner animation,
Is it
you know?
possible
So they just jump like that. So,
that,
so I just like, you know what? It's a feature, it's not a bug.
corrections or how would that work?
So that's a little bit more complex and I'm not too good at it either, but hold on. No, I'm good enough. That's good enough. That's good enough.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
So six,
Oh, sitting.
871,
No.
5,
Yeah.
5,
maybe
7,
not.
0, 5, 7.
5, 10 minutes, and your legs will just do it.
So when you have like characters, let's say
Lana from Upstores. Yes.
resources.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is the time. So
Have a nice day, bye.
Yeah, it's a prefab. Does it come with the animations, or do you have to?
I mean, depends what it is. This is a prefab we made.
Yeah.
You can make your own prefabs too, right? So,
Yeah, I know. So.
Yes.
Okay, so you made it. You made it with the animations.
The animations are mixing up. Just random animations we tie to the rig. So the rig is made with an app on his phone or some shit. So this is basically one of the animators. So basically you have
Yeah, I remember this.
an airborne
So
and
you
then
click
you
something.
missions, so you go grounded, airborne to grounded.
Yeah.
But this is a simple one. Let me find the
But then, how do you assign, for example, the movement key to the legs moving?
to the legs moving. Fuck, that's a good question. So
There is the
Here you-
thing that was the hardest for me, you know?
controller. So here you have your controller.
Yeah, I think that-
Base layer. So you have your grounded. So the blend tree.
I remember usually
There
there
we
was,
go.
yeah, there was, exactly.
This is like all the blend positions, but hold on.
For example, if you click on dancing, you should start dancing there.
Here.
Yeah. Exactly. But then, how do you get to this point? How can you like click dancing and he starts dancing there? So how do you make the rigid body do the movement you want?
Well, this one is like just like a skeleton, right?
Yeah.
This is not the
I
actual.
know.
So how you get there? Fuck, good question.
So did you import this
You just create a new state.
avatar? Did you import an avatar from the store where it has these movements?
No.
And then added the prefab that you have on top of the avatar?
I mean, I'll leave the shit, but basically
Okay, Google, stop. We are starting, okay?
Have fun.
You have fun too.
I was bored having fun.
That was dangerous, you have to.
That came out wrong.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to another session. This was unplanned session due to the popular demand. Okay, so good afternoon, Jesus Jimenez and everybody else on the chat. So today we are going to show how to get started with the Unity. Okay, but before we go into the Unity, as usual, I want to do a little introduction where we are with this course. Well, congratulations to all of you. If you have heard all the 10 lessons, now you are officially a programmer, so you can deal with anything that life throws at you. And for this reason, we decided to give each one of our lovely test bunnies here a task, okay, for AIC Hub. And next 2 weeks, we are going to see them making a progress in this platform. So these are real tasks for the real platform. We have multiple things that we want to do. So the platform has a website, and on this website, for example, we have on one-page document, which now we are translating to Arabic because it's for that market. So one of the tasks is translate the whole thing into Arabic, you know, the website itself, and then add features like login and register. So we want some of our users to register in order to access the suggestions part, okay? So they can suggest corrections of our translations, and that's another thing that we need to develop. So we need to show them the translations on this page so they can search for it, and then they can read the article about it. And once they do that, if they notice any errors, they can suggest suggestions, okay? After that, we also have a mobile app where they can do exactly the same, but the mobile app has an additional thing, which is quite nice. It's a paywall. So behind the paywall, you have many more articles. So you have around 3,000 articles on general health information, such as various conditions that you might have. And then you have around 10,000 articles how to manage your health, you know, how to live well, how to stop smoking, how to drink less, how to lose weight, how to deal with mental health issues, and so on. So these are going to be behind the paywall, and we need to implement our in-app payment system so people can pay with their iOS account or with their Android account. So all of these tasks have been assigned now, and next week on Tuesday and Thursday we are going to see those tasks in progress, and hopefully the week after they will be all finished, okay, and we will have an early beta version of this platform which we can then release to our testers, okay? So there's lots of work that we need to do, and next 2 weeks we are going to see this work in progress. We are going to see where people are failing, how they are not thinking properly, how they are thinking properly, and so on. So I'm quite excited to see how that is going to turn up. So we gave them a little bit of time to get all these tasks understood and done. So hopefully that will work quite well. Now, I mentioned Unity last time, and lots of people said, well, at least 3, hey, show us Unity. So I decided this week then to show you Unity. Today, my session is going to be more about how to set it up yourself, okay? So what I have learned in the past year working on this Unity project, some tips and tricks. And then after that, next Thursday, we are going to go more in depth with some examples of how to program in Unity, because it is a programming thing, all right? So what is Unity?
It's a game engine.
Gaming engine. Ah, it is, but it isn't. I'm not thinking of that answer. So first of all, Unity is IDE. So what is IDE? Development environment. But what is I? Ideal. Interactive. Interesting development environment. Insane. Well, it's nothing that excited, it's integrated, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't matter. I'm horrible with these abbreviations. I know. The only one which I know is CCCP, you know what that stands for. The other thing is, what the hell does that mean? Okay, so it means that it's a development environment, so we can develop an application, all right, which is great. That's what we are doing. But integrated means everything what React Native and all the Ionics and shit like that isn't, okay? So they are not integrated because you don't have one tool where you come in and do all your work there. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to go to terminal, command prompt, install crazy shit. When you install this, you get everything that you need to run your project. Okay, so that is what integrated, I think, means. Maybe it doesn't, but who cares? So for the mobile development, we have two good IDs, which is Xcode to develop iOS stuff, okay, and Android Studio to develop Android applications. They are really good, okay? The problem is they are not cross-platform. So they are specifically for Android and for iOS. So you have to write your application 2 times. You start from 0, you write it 2 times if you want the same application to be on 2 mobiles. This is why we are trying to have a cross-platform development tool. Okay, and that's why we use crap like Ionic, React Native. People use Flutter and all the other stuff, which is just a bunch of shit put together, where you still have to use Xcode and Android Studio to, at the end, compile your application, which is, what can go wrong with that, we have seen already. So Unity is a great integrated development platform, okay? Now, if I ask Thomas and watch Thomas develop on Unity, every half an hour you will hear, I hate Unity, okay? And I say it's great, so take that with a grain of salt. It's not perfect, all right? It's far from perfect, it's horrible, but it's great, all right? So, what's great about it? Great about it, it's a really cross-platform, okay? So when I develop an app in Unity, I can actually compile it for Mac, PC, Linux, okay? So I can run it on any computer. I can run it on Xbox, I can run it on PlayStation, I can run it on iOS phones, I can run it on Android, I can run it on virtual reality devices such as those Oculus crap, okay? And I can actually run it for web. So you can create a web page which renders this content and so on. So that is really good, okay? That's extremely hard, as you can see, when you are setting up all the node modules and all the other crap and plugins and pods and so on. This integrated platform really cares about making it cross-platform, and this is the best I've seen in that thing, okay? Now, how do I do this? How do I use this amazing tool that these people build? You know, it costs millions, you know, because it makes my life so easy. Well, it doesn't, it's free, all right, for certain users. So if you go to Unity .com website, you can get started and you can download a version of these things. And you can see they are charging lots of money unless you click on this tab, which says free. So it's worth clicking on the tabs, you know, because when you see lots of big numbers and you don't like them, you go to another tab and then it's much better for everyone, okay? So I highly recommend that you go with this tab here. So what this says, it is you can start and use Unity for free as long as you are not making $100,000 on your Unity application. You can keep using it for free. If I start making $100,000, then I'm sure that I can pay them 400 out of those 100,000, you know, for this thing here. But this doesn't give me anything basically extra compared to what I have in this plan right there. Okay, so absolutely feel free. You're not cheating, you're not doing anything illegal. Get started here. And you can download the Unity. You can download Unity for Linux, Mac, or PC. So again, very good. Not like Apple, which you can only download their stuff for Apple. So when you download Unity, basically you will get this Unity hub. So it's not going to download anything, okay? And then you have to install some stuff, okay? So you need to install the editor, okay? Right now I have two editors installed here, but I can add a new one and I can say this is recommended version, fine. Just like anything else, this has versions and versions. Like anywhere else, a little bit dodgy, but they are not as dodgy as npm install all your node modules. Okay, they are actually quite good because this is built by one organization. They have really good control what goes in, what goes out. Okay, so it's not that there are thousands of people contributing, or maybe contributing, or sometimes contributing, and sometimes, you know, no. This is developers working on this with one clear goal. So typically, if you install version, I don't know, 3.0 and then upgrade to 3.3, your code is not going to break at all. It's just going to work perfectly normal. So you can install any of the versions, you know, that you have. Typically, LTS is long time support, which means this is the version that at least for 1 year will be a current version. So that is the one which is recommended. When you select install, this is the first problem with Unity. Unity takes a lot of space on your hard drive, okay? So right now, for whatever is selected, it was to install 10 gigabytes, just to editor, okay? And if I click few more things, it's going to turn quite quickly to 20 gigabytes, okay? And then my project can be easily another 20, 30 gigabytes of space. So you have to make sure that on your computer you have some space, okay? So if you want to build for Android, you check this box and it will download all the SDKs, everything from Google. If you want for iOS, click that. If you want for Linux, if you want for Mac computers, WebGL for the websites, and Windows and so on. Documentation, fine, and if you need Unity in your native Chinese, feel free to do that. Okay?
Wasn't there an integrated console to code in it instead of downloading Visual Studio?
You don't have to download Visual Studio. You can edit the files in anything, okay? Just like you edit PHP files, you can edit them in Word if you want, okay? I don't download full version of Visual Studio. I uncheck this box because I already have Visual Studio Code and I edit perfectly fine with Visual Studio Code, okay? So I don't have to do that, all right? So once you click install, it is going to work for a little while, and then you will have your installs here. So as you can see, my installation here, this version 3 whatever, 1.11 something, is just Mac OS. And this one that I have before, I can compile for Windows and I can compile for Mac here. And if I want to change it later, I will click here and add modules, etc. So, because I have two of them, obviously they are taking more space. So if this one is 10 gig and this first one is 15, you can figure out that very soon you are going to run out of space. If you don't have SSD hard drive on your computer, don't bother. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't bother. Okay? So when you start with Unity, you can have a new project. Okay? And this is also quite lovely because it gives me things that I can actually learn. It gives me tutorials how to do this, okay? So this Lego micro game is actually a proper game. So if I click download template, okay, verify your age. Oh my God.
It's a Lego game.
Okay, whatever, that's my age. I agree with it. So right now what it does, it actually gets the code, okay? And I say this is my project, so this is a test Lego. And I can create a project, okay? So now first thing what Unity is not very good at is crashes. It crashes 24/7. It literally crashes 24 times in 7 hours. Okay, so it's that bad. Okay, it crashes more on Mac than on PC. Okay, so yeah, so because I'm running this on Mac right now, there is a good opportunity that you will have that lovely color spinning wheel, and if that happens, you can swear, okay? So it's not very stable as such. The second thing about Unity, what is annoying, is that everything takes ages, okay? So as you can see right now, it was processing, and this was fast, okay? So what's good for me, because I smoke, so I can go have a cigarette, make myself a coffee, I come back and still doing something. If you don't smoke, then I don't know what you people do, you know, whether you have to wait 5 minutes for this to load or 10, you know, so I don't know, you know. So load tutorials, I can load tutorials. So basically these are really good tutorials to tell you step by step how these things work. But I will skip this thing, all right? So what I have here right now is something that I will just click play. All right? And as you can see, I'm playing a game. I will kill these tutorials, I'll close this tab, okay, and I will make this slightly bigger, okay. So this looks like a real Lego character, and what do? I don't know how to play this game. Oh, I move it with arrows, okay, so I discovered that, so if I press arrows, I can move it, and now I have an item, which, well, I guess I picked up. Explore the land. I guess it has a sound, but who knows what is it doing. I can jump, great. I can move my camera around to see where I am. All right, so I guess I need to go somehow over there. Maybe I need to click something, etc. But this is a full game, okay? We all played these types of games on a mobile phone. So as you can see, it's beyond easy to start a game, and I just did it in, 10 seconds, okay? So let's stop, okay? So what the hell is this, all right? It's a scene. Yes, it is a scene. Okay. So I want to show you a little bit, first of all, what I learned about this thing. Okay. So I look at this and it looks great, but I haven't got a clue how to use this. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little crash course how to use this thing. Okay. So in this thing is a scene. This is where I see my actual scene. Okay. And it has a tab called scene, and then there's a tab called game. All right. So this is the actual game that I was playing a second ago, and this is a scene. I can edit stuff here. I can't edit stuff there. All right. So you switch. You know, they look exactly the same because they're showing the same thing. All right. But I need to be on the scene, and then I have these little tools, and here I don't have those little tools. Okay. So this one, I can use the tools to edit things directly on the scene as I see them, all right, which is quite fun. So everything what is in here is listed in the hierarchy, okay? So everything that's here, and I can double click, okay? So if I want to say this game brain player third person lock, okay, so I click on things and it shows me where they are. Okay, so Lego models, okay, alien, where is alien? Oh, there is alien. Altar, there is altar. Okay, there is a, yeah, etc. Okay, so this is showing me all the components that make this scene, and if I double click, boom, it selects it and zooms in on that. If I look at my game, it's still at the same place, okay, because I'm not playing. So this is everything what is on the scene. Here I have two things. I have assets, okay. Now assets are all the files that I have available to me for this project. Okay, so if I look at my VS Code, and I will open VS Code, I'll just want to draw a little parallel, okay, and then, what the hell, do I have two unities open? Okay, so this thing here, File Explorer, whatever it's called, this is your assets, okay, that is that. And if I click on these things, this is connected to those, so basically I can see what these things are, okay? And this one is some audio file, all right? So, fine. So the code is here, the graphics is here, the fonts are here, everything is inside the assets, okay? So what the hell are these things here? All right, now.
These are also inside the assets, right?
No. Maybe, yes, maybe no. This is a fun thing. Okay, so now I want to step back from this. 1 second, okay? Remember we talked about model view controller, okay? And remember, we talked about object-oriented programming, okay? And remember, we talked about classes, okay? And we talked about objects. So I have a class car, and from that class car, I can make 3 Mercedeses to, I don't know, Audis, etc. And then I can assign properties. This car, Mercedes, is red, this one is green, this one goes 100 miles an hour, this one goes 500 million, this one flies, this one is crashed, okay? So you remember this stuff, okay? Now this is the same thing which exists here. Thomas is waving for some crazy reason, I don't know why. Okay, so it's very hard for us as a developers when you define class user and create a new user to understand where the hell is that user, okay? what is the instance of that? Okay, so what we have here is in these assets, this is our code. Okay, so none of this is in this scene. So basically it's like definitions of everything, yeah, classes. Okay, when I put them here, I make an instance of that class. Okay, so this little thing that I just selected, this alien, is defined somewhere in the assets, okay, but I can put as many aliens as I want. This is an instance of it. It's actual object in the scene, okay? And just like my objects, this object has a range of properties, okay? Just like my user has a range of properties like name, age, date of birth, etc., is the same thing here. So this inspector allows me to make these properties. So if I want to have another alien, I can probably duplicate it. There's a Control D or something like that, you know. Or I can just copy paste it at the same place, you know, so it doesn't matter. Control C, Control V. Where the hell did it go? Oh, there is alien number 1, okay? So this alien number 1, edit assets, where is it? Game object, move to view. Okay, maybe it's, oh yeah, it's exactly the same position. So see, now I have 2 of these aliens, okay? So this is this one. Can I click on it? Oh, let me just zoom in a little bit. Ah, there you go. So this one has some properties. It has its name, alien, and let's call this one, I don't know, Thomas. Okay, so this is alien Thomas. So I'm just changing the properties, and this guy here, wherever it is, it's the bottom of the list, I can select it like this. This is alien Andre, okay? So now I have 2 objects here, all right? And they have slightly different position. The original alien I'm not changing the class of alien, but I can have as many of these as I want. Now, if I use these editor tools, as you can just saw me doing, I can change where my alien is. Okay, so I'm moving it up and down right now, okay? And you can notice that it's automatically updating its parameters or attributes or whatever it is, okay? So basically with this, I can put my alien exactly where I want, or I can do this even programmatically later on, make it move and jump and run and so on. Any questions so far? Okay, so these are my objects. Classes are here, but as I said, they're not just classes, there are lots of resources like materials, images and other stuff. Here I can see some music files and so on. Okay, these are all the files that I need to make this game. But it's, at the end of the day, in Unity, these blue things are called prefabs. Okay, so it is like pre-made composition of little components which make this one big thing called alien, okay? And I can edit those prefabs, I can make them different, change the color, change whatever I want here, because I'm just changing the properties of this object. If I change the properties of this class alien, then all of them that I instantiate will look like that. But if I just change the properties of object that is in my scene, which you see here, that is going to affect only that specific one. So with this, it really helps me to visualize what is the difference between the class and the object. Now we talked about view. So view is what I am representing to the user. Well, this is a view. This is my game scene. That's a view. Okay. So that is what I am representing. And of course, in a game, I can have multiple views and I can switch from one to another. You know, so level 1, level 2, welcome screen, login screen, same thing. So those are my views. So that shows the user and allows the user to interact. So I can either use arrows and click or move my mouse and change the camera or whatever I need to do in the game. So we have a model. Where's the controller?
It's the script, right?
Well, controllers are scripts, yeah. So if I want to program something to do something, I can write scripts, which is basically code, okay? And Unity allows me to write this relatively easily, okay? So if I want to add a script, I add a component, okay? And I want this object to spin, okay? So I'm going to write a script called spin, and it's like, hey, new script, fine, it's called spin, okay? Create an add, all right? So that's my script. Right now it doesn't do anything, okay? Unless I double click on it, and it opens, in my case, Visual Studio, okay? And this is my script spin. So, very interesting. Using is basically importing various other parts that I need. So as soon as I import something, I get access to all of those functions and things. So that's good. All right, and then I have my functions. Okay. So just like Laravel is a framework that does quite a lot of heavy lifting for us, so is Unity. It's also a framework, okay? Because that's where your engine part comes in, okay? So what it does here is every time when the scene, and I don't need this guy, every time when a scene is loaded, all of these, which might or might not have attached scripts to them, just like I added this one, I can add multiple ones, will call this start once, okay? So if I want this to do something where the scene starts, it's here. But how this game works when I press play, like every other game, it has a frame rate, so it repeats the same thing again and again and again, 50, 60, 100 times a second, okay? So each frame, we need to redraw everything. We need to move all the things which move. Check is the user, does the user want to jump or move or whatever not, okay? So that we do every frame, every 50 times a second or 100 times a second, whatever our frame rate is. So it gives us this function update, like pre-built one, that it calls every frame, okay? So if I want this thing to spin, so every frame I want to turn it a little bit, okay? So this is where I would type the code, okay, to turn this thing around, tiny increment at the time, all right? So, and then when I run this thing, I have my models. What are models? I'll come back to that. I have my controller, which controls this thing, okay, through the script, so I can tell it what to do when it starts, when it is, when the user clicks on it, when it hits another object. I can define all those behaviors as such. And of course, by extending other things, I can inherit, because this is a class at the end of the day, so it is what we know. But where is the model in all this?
The alien.
Hmm?
The alien.
No. Model is different thing in mobile model view controller paradigm, okay, where we are talking about this concept of like Holy Trinity, okay, we want to program in a certain way, okay. So we talked about view, where we are going to show what the stuff is and the user interacts with it. We have a controller which controls what activities is done. But model is a special class which is also connected to the database. Okay? So when I connect model Mercedes to the database, or model car to the database, then I can get from the database all the information I want, okay? So this car has this serial number, it has these features, it has, I don't know, parking sensors, it has, you know, so I can pick all that information from the database, okay? And this Unity doesn't, like Laravel doesn't have to have a database. I can make the whole website without the database. Okay, it's not going to store any data, but it's going to show some functionality, okay? And I can make a game without the database, so it doesn't store any data. If I want to save a state of the game where I was last time, I don't need a database to do that. And similar things in Laravel, I don't need to store my username and password and stuff like that in a database. I can store it in a browser, in a cookie, in a session. I can store it in a file. I can store it in multiple ways. So Unity has local storage where you can save states and stuff like that. But if I'm making a multiplayer game where people interact, chat, and so on, then I will have a database which will have all of us as a user, okay? And each one of us selects the character they like, and they put different color hats on it, and so on, and we are different levels. So that is stored in a database. And tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Thursday, we can show you how these objects that I create are actually connected to the database, grab the information from the database, update the database, and we make these really interesting interactive objects. Any questions so far? No. Okay. What else I learned about Unity? Okay. So let me close this project because this one is quite complex, but it's very good to play and move stuff around and see. I can click on it, zoom in, and see how does it work. Okay. So this is lovely to learn, and there were tutorials on the side, so I can follow those tutorials which will tell me, hey, you can add a new character. Here's how you make a boulder. You know, so they are really helpful to go through that, and they are quite good. Okay, but I'm going to close that. All right. I don't need you. All right. So this is something that I'm playing on, another Unity project, all right? And there are three things that you need to understand first of all is you make a choice. And once you make the choice, you can't really undo that choice halfway through the project. So when I create a new project, it asks me something about, do I want 3D, what is now called color, or do I want 3D, which is called HDRP, or do I want 3D, which is called URP? Okay? Now this is a complex thing, okay? It's all about rendering, drawing stuff on the screen, okay? How does this work in these game engines, okay? Everything is kind of made of some three-dimensional objects, they are three-dimensional in theory, okay? They are not physical objects that I can, they are fake three-dimensional objects. And all the objects, of course, then represented using geometry, which we learned in school. And one of the things that we learned in school is a bloody triangle, okay? And they bothered us in the school with, oh, if this is 5 centimeters, this is 7 centimeters, this angle is that, how much is that, and we are like, oh my God, when the hell am I going to use this in a real life, okay? I'm not going to go to the, local market and to buy some apples, and then somebody will tell me, hey, before you buy apples, how many apples do I have if Mary has 7 and you have 2 and the triangle's length is, no, it's happening here, okay? But it doesn't really gives us, we don't have to have that knowledge in order to work with this, okay? But it thinks, okay, if we have really small triangles and we put many of them next to each other and put them under angles, basically with those triangles I can draw any shape. And if I'm extremely close, I can see that, they are triangles. But if I go a little bit further away, I can see there is a really smooth surface, okay? So everything in these 3D engines is represented in triangles, And if I want to zoom in and zoom out triangle, it's very easy, okay? I just multiply these values by 2 or by 3 or by 4 and they are zoomed in, okay? Yeah. Well, we can use squares, we can use circles, we can use anything, but triangles are bloody simple, okay? So if I want to draw something, I need some sort of area, okay? And triangle is really good. If I have squares, then I would have a problem. I can't have really sharp angles because of the square, okay? So triangles can give me that, okay? And then I can have different angles, so much more flexible. So if I look at this scene and switch somewhere, the view, I think here, I can go to wireframe, okay? Now I can see those triangles. All right? Some of them. It's not going to show every single one of them, but you can see that this building that I had, it has few triangles. But see this object, this humanoid, has many more, because obviously the shape is much more complex. And we care much more about how our character looks than what the hell is this graphic. So this can be quite big and quite small, okay? And as you can see, as I'm zooming in, all these triangles are always recalculated, and these angles, so see this, if you pay attention to this triangle, okay? When I zoom in and out, this angle is not the same. It kind of opens and closes a little bit, so it's doing all these calculations all the time, every frame. So 50, 60, 100 times a second, okay? So this is why we need good graphics card in order to do lots of calculation, because our normal CPU inside the computer is not specialized in calculating lots of triangles. But there is another thing, that every triangle also needs to slap a texture on it. So it can't be empty like this, because then graphics would look crap. So it needs to see some sort of texture, okay? So what I just did now is switch to shaded wireframe, so I can see the triangles and the little textures, okay? So you can see my little humanoid, how it has lots of triangles and textures, and if I zoom in, I will see many more, all right? What the hell does that have to do with URP and all the other stuff that I just mentioned a second ago?
The more triangles, the more time it will take.
Oh yeah, and it's going to work slower, that's all correct, okay? However, you won't see a thing if you don't have light, okay? So I need light. And right now, maybe you don't see me very well, but if I turn on my little light here, you will see me better. Okay? But here's the problem. The problem is that if I move the light from one side of my face to another side of my face, what happens?
The other side becomes dark.
One side becomes lighter, one side becomes darker, and there is also another thing what happens if you especially have big one of these.
It will be shaded on the other side.
Shades, shadows, yes, so there are shadows going on, okay? So we have a light thing, okay, going on. All right? So if I have a light coming here, okay, then it's going to hit this surface, and this thing behind the surface has to be in shadow, okay? But it can't be whole my face. It's not that big, this nose, you know, it's not going to cover the whole bloody thing. It's just, you know, depending on the angle. So if the light goes like this, the shadow, I don't see it, okay? Now there's another problem, okay? So right now, where is the light in this room coming from?
The roof.
The roof. Well, roof is concrete, so it's not coming from the roof. Okay? So think about it. Where is the light on my face coming from? The light bulb. Okay? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 light bulbs. The windows also. Okay, we have 3 windows and then 3 of the top little ones. What else? Projector. So there is a projector here, so that throws a little bit of light. What else?
Laptop screens.
A couple of laptops. Okay? So I have multiple light sources hitting my face. Okay. But have you heard of refractions? Yes. So if I use a light, it reflects off the surface and then hits me as well. So this laptop here shines the light that way, it hits this laptop, and then I have a different light right now because I get laptop from here, this, and if I change it here, now I have a completely different screen and my face lit up, okay? So this is a problem with light, okay? So I have multiple light sources which can be like directional, like spotlights, but they can be just generic atmospheric light, and then we have all these reflective lights, okay? So one texture on one triangle can have multiple light sources hitting it, all right? And then the texture next to it, which might be slightly turned, has completely different light sources, okay? And the one after that might have some shadow on top of it, okay? So this is getting extremely complicated to calculate in real life, okay? So what they did is Unity had its own standard way of rendering all these lights and textures and colors and so on. And then they upgraded that to some sort of universal render pipeline, which kind of works on all the platforms. And then they decided they want to do a high definition, so even higher rendering pipeline. Okay, so if I choose high definition rendering pipeline, I want to create the maximum quality of these things. It's not going to run very well on crappy laptop or in browser or in phone. Okay, why not? Well, it will, but it won't. Okay, because the CPU and graphics card are not fast enough to process all this information. Plus, if I want to use high quality graphics, then all my textures need to be high quality images, which makes it much bigger in size. Okay, so the key thing is to understand what sort of quality and what your target devices are going to be, because you can't easily switch from one to another. It's not going to allow you. Now, of course, you heard about other 3D engines like Unreal, okay? And everybody is exciting these days about Unreal Engine 5 because it looks really good, okay? And I want to spend 5 minutes on this topic, okay? And then we'll have a little break, and then I will create a little world and scene for you just to see how it works, okay? So some sort of demonstration. So one of the big problems is, okay, there are triangles, and the better quality I want, more triangles I need. But further away I am from the thing, okay, so this thing here in the middle of the scene, or let's say this feet of this person and so on, I need to see in a great detail. However, if there is something here, I don't need to see it in a great detail at all. But it has the same number of triangles, it has the same number of texture, because if I go over there, I need to see the full quality of that thing, and then I don't care about this thing here right now, okay? So what Unity did to resolve this is a thing called level of detail, so I can adjust different level of details. So if you are very close, you have lots of triangles, but if you are very far, then you have not a lot of triangles. But there are other ways. I can just hide that thing, you know. So when you play a game and you can see it's drawing stuff in the background and the stuff in the background is disappearing, that's another method of saving the number of triangles that we are drawing, okay? So what Unreal Engine did very smart, they tried to maintain this number of triangles and optimize it, so whatever you are looking at has the maximum number of triangles, and whatever is far, far, far away, it automatically reduces the number of triangles on the fly, so it doesn't have to render it, you know. So you still see there is something in the background, like mountain or tree or building, but you don't see who is in the building eating what, you know, because it's too far away. So they invented this new technology, or algorithms, which do that on the fly really well. So that looks amazing. So I can have a really good, I can put my characters and my boulders and my buildings, the highest quality, the many, you know, these triangles, and I don't care how many of them it is, because all the ones that are not being seen, that are not on camera, it will automatically reduce, and you know, I will not lose performance. So great cool thing, okay? The second thing is that this light, okay? So if I have to trace from the sun, which I do have somewhere here on the scene, as you can see, this pillar has a shadow. So there is a sun over there, okay?
See the light on the crystal.
I can see the light, but just let me do this, okay? So this sun, which is somewhere here, you don't see it right now, hits this pillow and throws a shade. But also goes here, because this is reflective, it has a little reflection here. Okay? So it has to trace the rays from each light source, and when they bounce, it has to do something, okay? So this tracing and rendering of the light sources is horribly expensive and slows down the thing. So you have RTX graphics cards, which are specialized, have additional things, and then you have additional, you know, features, etc., etc., which will make your game more realistic. Now, Unity is cheating a little bit, okay? Because you have a situation which, especially with these reflections, okay? So it doesn't really do each single ray count. So let's imagine you have a tree, okay? A tree has 1,000 leaves, and then leaves are moving because there is a wind, okay? So sometimes I have like this, you know, so light goes through the holes, but sometimes I have like that, sometimes I, you know, so it has to calculate all this all the time. Okay, and that is beyond expensive, so they are kind of cheating. So let's not do that. Let's not make the shadow that realistic, you know, which changes and so on. But let's also do it realistic, because, you know, when you just see a shadow like big blob of dark gray, it's not realistic shadow. And then what if my character walks into this shadow? You remember what I was talking about, my nose and stuff like that? So what if this character is in the shadow, okay? So what if I move this character, okay, I hope this is the one. No. Human female, there you go, okay. So I'm moving this character, it's in full sunlight, and now see the arm is going in a shadow, and now the half of the thing is going in a shadow, okay. So let me also disable this, I just go shaded, okay. And then I'll click somewhere so you don't see it, okay. Let's zoom in, all right. So you can see that this arm is in the shadow of this specific column, okay. That is expensive. So they have these little things that you add, like little areas where the reflections are going to be. So you can see lots of these bubbles and light sources and stuff like that. So see this crap on the screen that shows me where we put crap in order to simulate these areas where you go in and go out, okay? Now, that is very time consuming, and it's also cheating, it's not realistic, okay? So what the Unreal Engine did well is calculating of those shadows and all those raycasting and so on. So in Unreal Engine I have absolutely stunning shadows and light sources, so they invented this great algorithms, which work really great. However, okay, I downloaded the demo file, which has some city, which looks great. The demo file is 90 gigabytes. Or 70, maybe it's 70, maybe it's 90, okay? But if you add the engine and everything else, so just the demo. I just go around some city. There's nothing inside the buildings. Buildings are just empty shells. I have some cars, and I have some people, and I have buildings, okay? And roads, and litter, and so on. So it all looks good, but it's 90 gigabyte. It's not a game, I can't put a game there. I need many other things to add to the game. So the problem with this high-end graphics, okay, is first, only 5 people in the world can run it if they spend so much time on a graphics card, like this laptop here. But the second thing is, you need ridiculous amounts of space to download this game and upload it and work it. It's just beyond. And if you want to develop that, then you need a monster of the machine which will process that in editor and so on. Okay? So when we are talking about who is our target audience, okay, we say, oh, we want to make the best ever looking game, the bestest graphic in the world. Well, yeah, fine, use Unreal Engine 5, no problem, but you will only have 3 customers. If they like your game. If they don't like your game, you will have those 3. But we are not just talking about games here, because with Unity and these engines, we can actually create any type of applications and so on. It doesn't have to be a game, okay? It can be quite a lot of different things, which I will show in a second. So I just wanted to say that yes, Unity Unreal 5 is absolutely great. We are not going to build the mobile applications on them, okay? You're probably going to use Unreal Engine 5, it's great. You're probably going to be using URP in Unity because it's good enough for the small screens and the amount of processing power and everything they have. Any questions? Nope.
So now if you want to make a project, we usually go with an Unreal 3D or 2D this sort of thing. We don't go for URB or...
You have to choose, you have to make a choice.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, like, if you would go for a project right now, you're making a game for everything that would run on websites, phones, and whatever. What would you go for?
Well, depends who my audience is. Okay. However, okay, now you have Stadia and GeForce Now and other cloud-based rendering systems. So they can render shit in the cloud. And then you stream just the visuals like YouTube video, you stream to your computer. Okay? And then I can run this high-end graphics on piece of shit software. So that is great. So very soon, everything, I think, will go to the cloud. We don't have to download hundreds of gigabytes of data. It will go to the cloud. It will be rendered over there on some big servers somewhere, and will just be a client who subscribe to, like Netflix and so on. So if you don't know what Stadia is, Chrome, okay, I open my browser, Google Chrome, Stadia, okay. So I go to Stadia website, okay, and let's say, do I have any demo game which is, I have Humankind, which I never played. Play now, whatever, okay, play. Play. I'm not downloading anything. I'm using Mac. So this game doesn't care is it for Mac or Windows or, and I can do the same thing on my phone, Android. Download Stadia. Okay, yes, I agree with this. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever it is doing is loading, I don't know. It works the same. Okay, language English, players one, confirm. How do you use this? I don't know. K confirm. K confirm. Yeah, it works great. Trust me. I'm an engineer. Okay, so I think that later we will have no need to, compromise. Okay, but then you have these VR glasses, and so on. Yeah, URP, good choice for learning and so on. HDRP, also good. Don't use standard in Unity. Unity is better for programmers. Unreal is better for visual people. Okay, so Unity gives you a little bit more control. But anyway, I'll do a few minute break, and then after that I'll actually go and design something in this Unity. So we'll see how it works. I'll show you the beauty of assets, which is amazing. Okay, so I'll talk to you in 3 minutes.
But did you draw it yourself?
Show you in 3 minutes. The answer is yes and no.
He can just report it.
So you will see.
I only made 2D animations.
That's really good.
3D,
The first game I did was just a cube moving around, clicking buttons and going through gates and stuff like that. So like it's very simple. It's 3D, but you don't need to do it in 3D. So you just do cube, circle, squares as doors, some stuff like that. So you don't have to 3D, I have to do like a human and stuff. It's not that complicated. It is, but you don't need to make it that complicated. because I didn't graduate from here. So they go like, we don't know your level and we don't want to risk it. So just like get some experience somehow and then come back and like, okay, how the fuck am I gonna get experience?
Yeah. There are also very little places here, right? Little opportunities.
Here, yeah, Maastricht, but in Eindhoven, Amsterdam, there are way too many. One of the really big names is Guella. You know, Guella is a Sony partner where they made a game for PS4, PlayStation. The game is, the company is Dutch and the game is not, like, it's not Dutch but by Dutch people. So I was like, okay, maybe I work with them because I also love that game. So I'm like, okay, can I work with these? Yeah, it's kind of hard to land a job in Latvia.
Alright guys, we are back. And I was asked one question, did I draw this all myself? And the answer is absolutely not. Okay, and I will show you the beauty of asset store. Okay, so let me create a new scene. Okay, so I will create here, create a scene. Okay, and this is going to be a new scene. Okay. And I'm going to open the new scene and save this, whatever I changed here. I moved the character. So this is an empty scene. It has nothing, okay? It has one directional light, so it gives me some light. And if I click on it and turn it off, hopefully I will have nothing, okay? Nothing will be visible. And I have a main camera which shows me that scene, okay? Nothing else, okay? So what I want to do is I want to have some sort of terrain, okay? So terrain where my people are going to be in this scene, okay? So I want to have a terrain, I want to have some forest and some grass and some wind and some light and some rain and some character and so on and so on, okay? So, the beautiful thing about this is that I have assets, okay? And assets are just like my node modules, okay? So basically, they are like vendor files that I can import into my project and then utilize them, all right? But this is integrated developer environment, so it is done really nicely, okay? So it's not like, oh my God, I have to kill myself with this thing. Okay, so there are lots of people contributing with the asset store. So if I go to asset store, assetstoreunity.com, okay.
You can go through the
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No. So I go to the website, okay. So I say, hey, this one, real landscapes, valley forest, that's kind of what I wanted, okay. And it's HDRP, so it tells me not all of them, and this is a bastards, okay? So this one supports built-in, so the standard one, URP and HDRP, so great, okay? So I can use it in any of my projects. And I can click a little play button, and I can see how the hell does this look, okay? Looks really good, okay? So I can get this asset, okay? I can scroll, okay, so it has forest, it has grass, it has some sunshine, beautiful, and oh, there's some snow as well, so it looks absolutely amazing, all right? So that's great. Now, if I click on this asset valley forest, oh my God, learn more, if I click on the right thing, it's 61 euros. Screw this, okay? Let's see the 3D assets that they have, okay? And let's see free assets, okay? And let's search for the terrain, okay? Or forest, okay? Forest, all right? So forest environment, free, 119. So I have different forests, okay? This one I purchased already because it's free, so I just got it, okay? It doesn't have a nice video, but we are pretty similar to the one that I've seen before, okay? Now this is good if the asset tells you render pipeline compatible. It's compatible with all three, so I can use it quite a lot. They either don't see it or I didn't read it, and then I would purchase an asset or get a free one, which doesn't work. It's very good to read the user reviews, okay, because if they are crap, don't get it, all right, because you will have more problems. It's good to check the support, okay, because these sometimes are very complicated, okay, so you want to have a good documentation. So some of these people who build these assets, this one is built by IL Ranch, okay, have a great Wikipedia support documentation, and some of these people are crap, okay, so some of this, if I go to my Discord, okay, I'm actually talking to people and they reply to me, you know, so this asset here, you know, boom, 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 there is active community, okay? They have problems and there are people like this Martin guy who keeps replying to everybody immediately and so on. That's a great support, okay? Absolutely great support. So whatever the hell, you know, I got stuck with this asset, this guy replied immediately, not with, oh, did you try to turn it on and off again? No, he replied to go to that file and change that thing and put that there, and it actually works. So you can have something amazing like that occasionally, okay? Occasionally, it just doesn't work, okay? So assets are great. Once you find the asset on this website and you add it to your basket or account and stuff like that, you go to your Unity and you go to Window Package Manager, okay? And then you can get all the assets that you purchased or acquired freely at the moment, okay? So these are the assets that I have, okay? Well, not all of them, because for some reason you have to click load in order to load all the assets, okay? So in order to build a thing that I want to build, okay, I want to build this thing called some sort of land, okay. I already imported assets which is not even listed here, all right, because I got it from somewhere else. I wanted to try it out. So this guy's procedure of worlds, Gaia. This is a great asset that I imported, okay? I didn't get it from the store, I just downloaded it online somewhere illegally, and I'm using it because it costs 300 euros, all right? Now, of course, I am just using this to test it out, okay? I'm not giving somebody 300 euros and then say, oh, this was good for me, okay? It's a little bit too much money for me, so I downloaded somewhere else, tried it, it's great, and definitely I'm going to go and buy it, you know, when I put it in my tools, okay? So some of these I, as I said, downloaded from somewhere else, okay? But, and some of them I couldn't find somewhere else, so I did buy them, you know. So what I do here, which this Gaia procedure was, says, if I go here, it has a little README file, which I can see there, but then it has documentation, and it has a quick start, and which is a PDF. So this is a good sign. And another thing what I can do, if I go here, I can see the package content, so I can see what the hell I'm getting, okay? So I can see that I'm getting some demo scenes, materials, it has a README text. This one doesn't have a documentation folder or PDF file here, so, you know, maybe it's missing, but maybe it doesn't have it, maybe it doesn't need it, maybe it's very simple to use, but quick start guide, okay? So blah, blah, blah. They have a nice little thing. You can click there, you can click there. You know, tutorials, you can go to online and you can go to Discord and talk to these people, which is great. So how do I set it up? So it tells me how to set up my project, okay? Which I already did, you know, because I have a, you know, do you want built-in and so on. So we talked about that. Okay, so what I need to do actually, if I remember correctly here, in order to use this asset is tools, no idea where it was, need to remind myself. Please note, create your first array. Okay, so new scene, I did a new scene, great. And open the Gaia manager by pressing Ctrl G or window procedural worlds Gaia, window procedural worlds, am I blind? Gaia, show Gaia manager, okay? So basically what it does, and this is absolutely amazing. So what this is going to do, they wrote amazing scripts which will generate, computer generate the world. Each time it's different, you can adjust thousands of settings, okay? So I can say, okay, my world is going to be small, or I can specifically say 5 by 5 kilometers or whatever the size of the world, okay? I want to run it on desktop computer, it's fine. And then I want to have, let's say, giant forest, okay? So that looks like great, okay? And random generation is fine for this example. So I say create world designer. Okay, fine, do that. Okay, boom, 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 it's doing something. Ooh, what happened? It generated the world. Okay, so this is my world, this is my water, so this is like some sort of island. And I can randomize it and do it again and change the world shape or move it up and down. But right now, I am not going to do anything. I'm perfectly happy with this, exactly how it works. So this, as I said, this is an object. These are its properties. It's just creating the new instance. And I'm going to run that. Okay, so it's doing something. As I say, it's, you know, and then this error, I haven't figured it out yet, but okay. So it's generating this world. So basically it's procedurally creating the mountains, the lakes, the crap that I need, okay? So now it's finished, and then what I need to do is select which ones of these types of trees and grass and audio effects I want. I want all of them. So I'll just say spawn biome, okay? So right now it's figuring out where the hell is it going to put the trees, okay? So that's it, done, okay? Small world works fast, big worlds, okay? And then I can go to create runtime, all right? Where the hell did it go? Yeah, fine. Manager, create runtime. Maybe it was just behind. So it asks me, how do I want to control what type of user I want to have? Well, let's say, in this case, I want to have a car, okay? What type of skies do I have? Let's say I have night skies, all right? What type of water do I like? Deep blue ocean is fine. Does it have underwater effects? Yes. Wind, let's make it strong for some reason, okay? Create runtime. Yes. Apparently it did it, okay? And build and deploy. There is a main scene, but this is not the main scene. I don't care about that right now, okay? So, play. Let's see what the hell did we created. It is night. There is a car.
There's no light.
Yeah, well, I told it it's going to be night. Okay, so this looks brilliant, except this pink crap over there. Okay, so as you can see, this is quite realistic world, except this pink thing, whatever this thing is, water. So that's my thing. It's lovely. I can drive a car. I can zoom in and out, change my angle. So with this one resource, in a few clicks, I created extremely complicated world. Okay, so manager. Okay, runtime. I didn't like. Let's go for day. Update. Yes. Okay, so now we are in day. Now the thing is that this probably here. Okay, this material of the water surface, okay, it's pink because it loaded material for URP or standard instead of HDRP, and they can't load it, okay? So I need to change the shader, and I know this already. I have lots of shaders installed, but I'm just going to go for nature manufacturer. No, this guy, HDRP, no, it's not here. HDRP, if I put lit, let's see what's going to happen, but it's not going to work very well. This doesn't look very watery, so can't find it. Okay, water, DDD, water river, stylized, swamp. Okay, let's make it swampy. Okay, it's thinking. All right, so this is some swampy kind of water, okay, which is fair enough. So that's my island, okay, and you can see that this script that I just ran added quite a lot of different things. So Gaia player, okay, and this is my Gaia car. So I go there, that's my car, okay, and I can move it around, all right, put it somewhere else, and this is my starting point, etc., etc. So let's add a building, okay, to this thing, right? I can import buildings, okay, but I already have some buildings here, okay, so if I type here in building, okay, so it's going to find lots of different things, okay, and segments and so on. So I don't know what the hell these are. I can switch to this view, and then it should eventually show me which each one of these in my assets are. So that's a building, okay, okay, so let's just drag and drop it here. Oh, nice. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit, and then I can move with arrows.
Isn't there a way to disable this annoying white stuff?
Oh yeah, you can kill these gizmos and stuff. Don't know where, I don't care, okay? So that's the building. Now, one thing what I learned that is quite annoying is that my terrain is bumpy. So what happens is that either my building,
Lines?
let me just adjust this where I want it. So see here, it's above the terrain. And see here, you can't see it from there, um, I have pieces of terrain inside the building, so see how the terrain spills in, okay? So it's not really realistic. You go inside the house and then it has, you know, lots of earth. Okay, so, but anyway, let's play this. Let's see what happens. I should have saved this because as I told you, Unity crashes all the time. So if I didn't save this, okay, so now I can see where the things are, which is brilliant. And I can see my lake. It's throwing some errors. And there is my building, okay? Can I drive inside my house and park inside? No, because my terrain is too low, okay? And then I have grass and trees growing inside my house, which is not exactly good. And I have no idea what the hell is going on there in the corner, okay? And my car got stuck as well. I can't do anywhere, okay? So let's stop this, okay? What I want to do, and this is quite easy, okay? I click on this move tool and I click on that thing, okay? And what it automatically selects here is a terrain, okay? And I have terrain tools, paint terrain. I can paint different texture if I want to, and I can raise or lower terrain, okay? And then what I did get here is a little brush, all right? Now this brush looks a bit too big for me, so hopefully brush size, I can make it smaller. That's better. And then I can make it round. So it tells me here, okay, what do I want to do? Left click to raise, hold shift, and left click to lower. So if I left click, I will raise the terrain. My God. Okay, maybe the power of this tool is too much. Okay, if I shift click, boom, we draw a little big hole. Okay, I undo what I did. So this raise and lower.
Maybe the opacity?
Yeah. So if I change this to much lower settings and click once, that's better. Okay, so I can adjust the level. If I click and drag, it will still too powerful. Okay.
Maybe if you hold it, then it goes higher.
Yeah, of course, the longer you hold it, it goes higher. But what I want to do is not raise or lower terrain, I want to the set height. That's the one. So what it says now, left click to set height, hold shift and left click to sample the target height. So basically what I want is this height here. Okay, so shift click. And then if I press and hold, it will make everything that height. Maybe it should be shift click. Good. And then I go here. So it's going to lower my terrain where it needs to lower it and make it higher where it's, so I'm setting the specific height. Okay. So basically I'm painting the terrain. Maybe I want to have it slightly higher. Okay, here. Okay, so when I get to my car, I can actually go in. All right, brilliant. So, play. Let's see what happens now. So, again, I didn't save it. Horrible, horrible person. Okay, we go around, little car, hit the tree.
Why is this happening with the Louvre or the side scene? So on the side you can see the terrain is going up and down and stuff.
I almost got there.
Stuck again.
I'm stuck again. It's creating lots of this thing. I don't like this. Let's me change. So where is that manager again? Tools, window.
Window, yeah.
Procedure was Gaia, show Gaia manager, and then third person. Yeah, I don't want the car anymore. I want third person, okay? And update runtime. one thing which has here is XR controller. So if you want to create virtual reality and you have those hand controllers and stuff like that, you can actually do that as well. So that's fun. Okay. Yes, update that. Let me actually save this because sooner or later it will crash. Oh, there's a little guy. And now he's not moving.
It's funny.
Now he's drunk and boom. Okay. And my water is back to pink. What the hell is going on? Okay, because I updated runtime and this Gaia plugin obviously updated my water, so it overrode that thing what I fixed. Okay.
Maybe moving the other buttons.
Okay, so I don't like this. Control Z. Can I Control Z this? Yeah, it's Control Zing that, you know, so my terrain, but it's not undoing this, what this script did. Okay, so manager, third person, oh my God, go back to the car, the blue ocean, water, clear blue ocean, standard lake, I don't know, update runtime. Okay, water is pink still, so I select water and use a different shader. So water, which one? PW water. Oh my God, this one is bloody reflective. Green water. Ah, it has error. Water, river. What if I choose that guy? Yeah, brilliant. That's very realistic, okay? That's how water looks like. The last time when I went to... Well, I can drive backwards. So see, because this shader is doing something, it's a flow, so it's simulating the flow. Okay, it has underwater crap. Now, if I wait a few days, maybe this car will rust, okay? But you get the point, okay? So, did I draw this?
No.
No, I just got the assets, okay? So, is this unique creation? Well, it is quite unique because nobody created this, you know, so with the right combination of assets, I can actually create a very unique looking words, okay? But also, of course, I can create my own assets, okay? I can create my own materials, I can create all this stuff because this asset that I'm talking about, this house, has lots of components like walls and so on. And again, hey, it's very important. The naming convention. If I name all my walls part 1, part 2, part 3, and all my windows part 4, part 7, and so on, I will never know what the hell it is. So if I'm looking for the wall, I will name it a wall. Okay? And then this guy called it 20 by 3 or some sort of dimensions, you know, so you understand is it a big wall, a small wall. So it's a very good conventions. These are called roofs. So, okay, so let's see. This is a roof, okay? And this roof has some components inside. Okay, let's say this is some parts, colliders, okay? And it has wood base. Ah, that's the material that is selected for this roof, okay? Can I select a different material, not this wood base, but of course I can. I can change the materials, I can import my own materials, and so on, you know, so I don't want this one. Where's my car? Gaia car, okay? Go to the car, okay. So this is a car, and this is now an interesting one, all right? because as you know, car, what we were using our examples in our classes and our objects, we have quite a lot of different things, because see what it has wheels, and these wheels collide, they hit things, okay? So it has definition, this is a four-wheel drive. Oh, I can change the property, I can just have a real wheel drive and so on, okay? Steer helper, maximum steer angle, what's the torque level, okay? What's the downforce, what's the top speed of this car? So all these properties and functions I can define here. The controls, and then it also has the sounds. I don't know where's my sound going right now. It's going to the projector, so let me switch to the speakers and click play. Because this also built in the game sounds. So hopefully, oh my God, I hit a piece of grass. It goes 150 miles an hour. Can I go over the grass? No. Okay, you got the point. So every object is simple or complicated, I don't know, it has multiple lights, fine, I'm happy with that. So let me go to one scene that I want to show you, which is my main scene, okay? The one that we were, I would say changes to this, no. Okay, click there, and then I want to load, just give me 1 second, load all. Beam, 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 beam. All right, so what I just want to show you like a proper work in progress, but it has multiple components, okay? So this little thing, okay, this peninsula with a couple of islands here and here, okay, I actually went to Google Maps and found a location that I want to import, okay? So I'm using the real geographical data. This is someplace in Greece, which I like these, how there's a mountainy bits and so on. And then I use some tool to create a height map. So it is exported instead of the map, the height of every point. And then I used Gaia, that tool that I showed you a little bit earlier, to make this quite realistic, okay? Because if you draw the terrains with those brushes and stuff like that, you will never draw them very realistic, okay? So I wanted to pick a spot and make it as realistic as possible, all right? So then the second thing is I wanted to make it bigger, okay? So this is 2 by 2 kilometers. So this is 4 square kilometers, which is quite a lot. So if you have to walk in Maastricht, satellite for 4 kilometers, at the end of the day you will have, you'll be quite tired. So it is quite big. You can imagine how many triangles this has, because it has so many trees and grasses and little things that are going around. So what this Gaia, another thing what it does, it actually allows me to cut this in tiles. So I have 64 tiles here, all right? So this terrain is cut in 256 by 256 meters. So it's like a chessboard. I can choose any numbers, but this is the ones that I chose for some reason. So it loads only the tiles which are next to my player. So it doesn't have to load the whole world and render everything and think about it. No, it just loads few small parts of the world which are visible. But it also has a thing called imposters, which are like fake tiles in the background. So everything that I see in the background is like imposter, it's a fake tile. Unreal 5, I don't have to create imposters, but yeah, I explained what is the difference. Then I used the standard Gaia water and I rendered these things fine. Okay, but what I wanted to do is just play with it. Okay, so first of all, I got some asset which looks really cool, which has all these absolutely amazing buildings. Okay, so this building looks crazy good. All right, so I like that, and I have many of them. So what I created here is some sort of like futuristic or ancient civilization or some sort of area where my buildings are around this thing, all right? So, looks good so far. I didn't bother too much because, as I said, it's work in progress to get these buildings with the terrain. So see, when I look at this one here, I could have done this much neater, you know, how this terrain is actually halfway in the building, okay? But I was like, I can't be bothered with that, that's, you know. Okay, so what I did after I added all these buildings, okay, I wanted to create a little river. All right, so I'm using another plugin which creates a really nice rivers, and I can adjust all these points and choose different materials, so I can have different types of rivers. So over here, I use the same tool. Was it over here? Yeah. Zoomed in. This is a path. So I have a little path that you can see, okay, and walk above it, and I have few paths which are quite lovely, you know, so I use the same thing. And if I look from the top, which I quite like, this path goes from that village to this village, okay? And what I decided to do is build a castle, okay? And inside of the castle, I put those buildings that you saw me doing in this example. So I arranged them in some sort of order. And then in front of the castle, I decided to put a port, okay? So I have a full port, and if I click on it, okay, and let me go around, okay? So you can see all these buildings. And I have a port, let me just click here, all right. Okay, so when I get closer, you can see the details, so you can see little boats and crap like that, okay. So this port is a free asset, okay. So I just put it in and adjusted a few things so it kind of melts in relatively well, all right. So I got a port, I got my village, okay, and each one of these buildings is quite unique, and then if you go inside, it also typically has some furniture, you know, so I can actually walk inside these buildings and do stuff. I can open and close the doors and so on. So I have that village there, but then I was like, okay, fine, what else do I want? Okay, so I have my port, then I built this little lake, all right, that was easy, and then I decided to add this volcano, just for yaks, okay, so another asset with volcano, so I add volcano. So I said this looks good, so I have my character walking around, which is great, but then I decided to add a helicopter. Okay, so you can also fly in a helicopter. So it's parked here, and if you come to it and click on it, you should be able to go around and fly. I also had a spaceship here, which I deleted for some reason. I think Unity crashed, and I had a space station there, so my spaceship would go to the space station. All right? So this looks like a lovely little world, fine, but let me try to do something if I still have it. No, I don't.
These are not prefabs because they're not blue.
No, they're not prefabs. Okay, so I am going to kill this UI because I don't want UI, but I don't have a player, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I do have
There's not a player.
yeah, but it's empty. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. It's not going to work, but I want to show you something if it works. Okay, it doesn't matter. Did it crash? Now is the question.
You want to give you a prompt that crash.
No, it didn't crash. Okay, so that's great. Okay, so I need to turn on one camera. Okay, but I don't want this right now. So turn on. Oh. So this to that, disable. Okay, so I have a camera. Okay, and this camera is probably somewhere. Oh, what the hell did I just do? It's probably somewhere under the sea, so I need to check where the camera is. Okay, so the main camera. Okay, no idea where it is, but what I will do, I have this little copy position, and I go to main camera and paste position. Okay, so hopefully now this camera is somewhere else. Yes. Okay, so my camera is now exactly where that human is. I can adjust the angle and so on, but the changes I'm making now are not saved ever. These are changes because I'm in a play mode. So I'm playing and testing stuff out. So I'm not going to mess up anything because when I stop playing, all of this will revert back. So that's quite cool. What I want to show you that I added this Enviro Sky. Okay, so what I have here is simulated progression of the time. So right now it's 8 o'clock. Okay, but what is going to happen if you look at these shadows? They are moving slowly. Okay, why? Because there is a sun, and I can't move this camera right now. Sun is going around me, okay, and I can see all the reflections, all the stuff, and so at some point it will go dark, okay. So it's a little bit slow, okay. So I'm going to jump to 15. Can I do it just like that? No, I have to press that. 15. Okay, and continue.
I think it goes too short and goes back or something.
No. Well, I want to say none, and I want to say 15. Okay, 5 o'clock. Okay, so now it works. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, play. Ah, my God, I stopped it. Okay, so now I have to do everything again. Play. Yep, I need to move the camera and enable these things. And this one is going to crash because this little spinning circle means that Unity is crashing.
Is it because of the SSD or is there?
No, it's just force quit. Oh, it managed to survive. Okay, so it's a great thing. Okay, so this enable these guys, disable camera paste position, which I still have. Okay, and then I will pause and go to game and go to this camera, not game scene, camera, where are you? Camera. Okay, this is my camera, so I can put it up a little bit to the back, and then I can adjust the angle, okay, so something like that, okay? All right, brilliant. That's exactly what I want. So standard time, I just want to show you this plugin because this plugin is really good, because when I change the time to 4 in the afternoon, it will look different. If I change to 8 in the evening, it looks like 8 in the evening. So I can see the stars moving, I can still see all these things happening, I can see beautiful reflections on that, I can see my volcano. So simulated, see how the stars are moving, and maybe you will see the moon, maybe you won't. But then I can do more things, okay? So what if I want, where is it? I want to change the weather, okay?
There's thunder as well.
Yeah, there's thunder, there's fog, there is aurora, there is all these moon shafts, light shafts, so I can add that.
This is all from Gaia, or?
No, this is Enviro, okay? Okay, but where the hell is the rain and so on? Because it has so many options.
There's weather presets.
Yeah, there is presets, but I need to change the weather, which is right now. Oh, it's clear sky, current. No, I don't want to do that. Play on camera, rendering setup. I'm just blind, I don't see it at the moment. Yeah, it's a different sun and different nights when it's that, but let's start with heavy rain. But it's not going to change it to heavy rain. It's can't remember where it is, but you know, you will find it as soon as this is over. So this gives me this very realistic weather type. Okay, so right now it's a beautiful clear skies, but I have WAPI integration. Maserati really rose. He likes Maserati. Okay, remember to smooth. I will remember to smooth. So we got some comments. What I just want to show you in the last few minutes, as you see now, it's sunrise, so I get all the beautiful reflections, etc., etc. So it's really, really pretty. Now, this is an editor mode. I need to compile this in order to run it, okay? To give it to you as an application, I need to compile and package everything, okay? And then I get even higher quality, okay? So it pre-renders, pre-bakes all the lights, all the reflections, it calculates what it's doing it now live. So the end product, it looks much better than this, okay? For some reason, all my trees are gone. I don't know what happened there, you know, so there are things to fix here. But with few assets, okay, with few assets, I can create really cool stuff. And one of those assets that I'm using is Atavism, which I just disabled here. Okay, so Atavism is the asset which gives me, and I will show you this, I will place.
UI?
No, just UI. Okay. So what I'm going to do is load a scene from my scenes where I keep them, and I'm going to give you a login scene. Don't save this crap, okay? And I'm going to just put this, when I play the game, I'm going to give it in a maximized thing, and I'm going to give it some higher resolution, okay? And I'm just going to play this scene, okay? It even has some audio. Okay, so I got the asset. This is some Japanese garden. Okay, it's a small little asset which has this lovely garden. Okay, the only thing what I did because Atavision gave me this login stuff and server at the back which I integrated with AppsForce, which I will show you next time. So I can manage users and everything else. Everything else, I mean everything that you would find in a very complicated game. So items, inventories, teleports, spells, building things, building houses, building, putting clothes on and so on, okay? So what I did here is I used a little login screen, okay? But I didn't like the background because they had a static background. So I just put a scene that I got from some asset, this Chinese garden. And you remember that spin thing? I'm just spinning slowly the camera. So I just said to camera, every frame, move it like a tiny bit, okay? So you get this like little slowly panning thing, all right? So I didn't do much, but it, in my opinion, it looks great. Because this asset comes, maybe you saw a butterfly or a little thing, so it looks quite nice, okay? And when I log in, okay, I have these screens that I can customize, so I got this one from Pixabay, all right? And then I have my character, so I can create a character, and when I create a character, I'm defining, this all comes from the server. This is on the server, so if I want to play as a smarty human or arty human or farty human, you know, I have different things, you know, and they have different properties. If I want to play with a guy or girl and so on, or if I want to play as a monster. Now, the thing is that this should display me a character here, but I broke something, so it doesn't right now. So, fine. Where is Artie gone? Don't know. Well, this is why we have a console, just like in any other, you know, and I can see all the error logs. Okay, I will show you that next time. So, is it going to work? Oh my God, server not ready for login. So I know why it's missing, because my server just crashed. I need to restart the server. But anyway, it's 6 o'clock. I think I showed you really cool stuff, okay? So if you are interested to play with this and create these type of little aspects, you can do quite a lot for free. So download Unity, make sure you have lots of space, download some assets that are available, there are thousands free, okay? And then just put shit together, you know. Or if you want to run a tutorial, use that Lego game, and there are a few others, you know, like 2D games and so on. Any questions? Nope. Good. Anyone online? They just enjoy the car. Okay, guys. So next Thursday, I'll try to actually do some programming here. So I'll show you how this is all connected, how it talks to the server, etc. So that will be a little bit more interesting for programmers. But then next Tuesday, as I said, we are going back to AI SIHA and checking all your tasks. But this is one project, again, that we are doing here. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.